share with you this evening my experiences both professionally and personally, because I think those experiences that I've had help to shape what my platform will be for the future of special ed here in Charles County. As I mentioned earlier, I just retired after 45 years in education. 24 of those years was as a special educator in Charles County Public Schools and DC Public Schools. I worked at Mount Hope Elementary School when I first came to the county. And I worked in a variety of programs. I worked in life skills. I worked as a co-teaching teacher down at Mount Hope as a diagnostic prescriptive teacher throughout the year. So I've had a lot of exposure and work with students with special needs. As an administrator, I would like to think that I was always known as a special education friendly administrator, because I can say with honesty and sincerity that there were times when some of my colleagues were seeking to have special education programs removed from their building. I actively accepted them into mine graciously and hoped that each and every one of the students was entitled to everything that any other typical child in the school was entitled to as well. And I think anybody that you know that worked with me knew that every child in that building had equal opportunity. I worked collaboratively with one of the teachers in my building that was a life skill teacher who got a $20,000 grant from the JCs to start a sensory room at J.P. Ryan. And we were the first school that had a sensory room. And I added funds from my general fund to supplement that budget that she had. And some of your CCAP members came over to the school and viewed that sensory room. And I think that collaboration was a very positive one. I also worked with another parent who had a wheelchair-bound student in the school who, when she went out on the playground to play with her peers, couldn't access the playground because of the gravel. So Mrs. Ghazi and I worked very closely with the board to be able to provide a means for her daughter to be able to work, to play with her friends on the playground. And although the equipment was limited, it was a start. It wasn't a full-blown special needs playground, but it was a start. When we went to Wade, we also had a special education inclusion pre-K. There was no specialized equipment for those students, and I worked very earnestly to get some equipment for the school and those students before I left. On a personal note, I am the parent of a set of twins with special needs. My son is intellectually disabled and my daughter is emotionally disabled. And we came to Charles County in the early 70s when there weren't a lot of programs, but Charles County was very progressive in comparison to where the county that we came from. And my children were not placed in the right setting, and I had to work and advocate almost daily to make sure that they received the services that they needed and were properly placed. And I'm very happy to say that my son was the first class. He was placed at the Gwen Center, and he was the first class that transitioned out of the Gwen Center to McDonough High School in their life skills program. And he stayed there till he was 21 years old with Stephanie Roberts. And at the time, there was a program there called CAST, Community Schools Together. And because of that program, my son John was able to transition into the world of work at Millwood. And now he's a client at Springdale, and he lives in a home independently in La Plata with another client and a full-time counselor. He thinks he's in an apartment of his own, and we're all very happy. His sister, my daughter Yvette, was diploma-bound and went to La Plata High School and graduated, and she right now is very successful, living in Tennessee with her husband, and the rest of the McGraw keep playing, so to speak. And my youngest daughter, Christina, works at Thomas Stone High School in the Life Skills program. So I think those experiences have helped me to shape my platform, and my platform is this. First of all, I believe that we should, as a Board of Education member, that I will advocate to be sure that there's a continuum of services here for every child with a special need. There's a quote that I've always liked through the years, and that quote has been, special education isn't a place. Special education is individualized instruction with supports and services. And I believe that that's what needs to be happening here in the county for our students. Because of that, and because of the fact that the face of special ed is changing, I also believe that I need to support professional development for the teachers. Because the teachers need to be up to date with the state-of-the-art strategies to help your child access the curriculum, not just have it remediated for them. And also in that vein, I believe that because of the maintenance of effort under IDEA, that is very important to make sure that the budget is maintained for the students with special needs. And lastly, I believe that I will be an advocate for groups such as yourself. In the early 70s, special education was almost non-existent. And it was because of grassroots efforts of parents like you and me that 94-142, the public law 94-142 passed, which said that your child and my child had a right to a free and public education in a least restrictive environment, among other things. And so at this time, with a lot of education reform taking place, the advent of PARCC, it's really imperative that you are out there and I am out there to advocate for our kids, to be sure that, number one, the accessibility requirements are there for them for PARCC, as well as the accommodations. So I think that support needs to come from the board as well. So I hope that you will hear after what I've said, you will understand that I have walked the walk, so I can talk the talk. And that I hope you remember me on November the 4th, that I am an advocate for special ed and will always be one.